Hey, Derek, how you doing?
Hey, Peter.
Good to see you. You're wearing the photographer's jacket.
Yes, I love this thing. It's so many of the casual wear clothes that I like are so outrageous and stupid. I mean, they're not outrageous by like a lot of avant-garde people are gonna be like, that's a boring ass fucking jacket. But I mean, for me, wearing something with that you're like covered, like you look like you're like a walking file cabinet.
You look like, an apothecary.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean that in a loving way because I have the same jacket.
I love weird kind of wacky casual wear.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the photographer jacket for spring, summer, especially.
Do you have anything in those pockets?
I don't. I had my phone in one of the pockets, but I rarely carry anything in the actual pockets because it's a pain in the ass to then fish them out.
Right. You're like, which one did I put it in? Which of the 17
yeah, exactly.
did I put it in?
Exactly.
When I wore that to Ireland, I wore it as a challenge. Like, okay, how am I going to put things in this pocket? And I found a place. It's a very capacious jacket. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's the one that has the pocket in the back.
Has the pocket in the back. So way back in the day on these kind of game, outerwear, like outerwear that you'd wear to hunt or fish, there was often a big pocket in the back to carry whatever you caught for the day.
Yeah.
So whether that's a fish or a bird. And so this one has that. But it essentially looks ridiculous to anyone in modern life because one, they've never seen it before. So, and two, it's just a unrealistic, it's not a functional pocket because you can't reach behind you easily.
Right. But it's good for packing away.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to go to the beach and I need a blanket on which to lie. So I'm just going to put it in this huge pocket in the back.
Right.
So that when I get to the beach, people are like, what are you doing with the jacket? And you just whip out your towel and say, I'm prepared.
Exactly.
Nice.
Did you catch the Met Gala recently?
I did. Interesting outfits. In my opinion, the women's outfits are always much more interesting.
So much better.
So much better.
I mean, there are outfits that I liked. There was a Vivienne Westwood Mr. Pearl's corset that I thought was incredible. The
detail was amazing.
Craftsmanship, the final effect, the pearls were set in a way to kind of make it look like a very muscular torso.
Yeah.
I mean, just the craftsmanship and the visual effect was good. But I do admit, like a lot of times, I just think the women's stuff is so much better.
I think it's because, and I don't know why this is, maybe we can get into it. Women appreciate the intricacies of, I think it was Kara's outfit from Ralph Lauren. It had so much hand embroidering and it was a really long trail. It was like, crazy, 20 feet. But all of the handwork that was done, you can't help but appreciate the craftsmanship behind that.
Well, there's a lot of people who do not appreciate it at all. I would not say you cannot help but certainly I think if you care about craftsmanship, if you take pleasure in like a beautiful handcrafted suit and you dig any, even a little bit to look at, like Hand and Lock is a British embroidery kind of company. And they have videos on Instagram showing how they do embroideries. If you appreciate that kind of stuff and you see it at the Met Gala, it is pretty remarkable. The amount of hand embroideries, the hand finishing, the shaping, all of it. It's incredible. There are sometimes outfits tip into, and this is true of the Met Gala in general, just tip into costume.
Yeah.
In a sort of way that it then becomes, I don't know, it's a weird fine line because then to me, it's just like a movie piece.
Right. Which I can appreciate. I mean, historically, people just didn't have the venue, I guess I should say, to wear costume because costumes were relegated to the stage or movies. But to do it in real life, you are putting yourself out there. But thankfully, the Met Gala has been kind of like that for the past, I would say, 10 years at the very least. And so you kind of expect wild costumes and outfits. It's nice to see something well done that is relatively pedestrian, like a tuxedo. And I saw a few that were really nice. The new global editor, Top of the Mast from GQ, turned out in a really nice tuxedo. It fit him really, really well.
Yeah.
And
I'm pro tuxedo for the Met Gala. I get shit for that all the time on Twitter and online. I mean, it's this kind of thing where the Met Gala in the last 20 years, and especially the last 10 years, has become increasingly about themed costumes.
Right. Like they have to put a theme to it in order to get people to come.
I mean, they used to have, I mean, they've done themes for a long time because it's part of an exhibit, right? So the Met Gala has been around since 1948. And so if you go to Getty Images and you look up, you could type in any year, you do Met Gala 1960 or Met Gala 1972, whatever, and you'll see photos from that event. And so they've always done themes because it's connected to an exhibit. For people that don't know, the Met Gala, of course, is a gala connected to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And inside the museum, they have the Costume Institute, which is dedicated to preserving historical garments, curating exhibits, and educating the public on how clothing reflects and shapes culture. So they do all of this tremendous work. It really started, I think the Costume Institute started out of like a broom closet and has now grown into this huge department. But they really do tremendous work, but it costs a lot of money to run the institute and put these kind of, exhibits together. So the gala is to raise money for the Costume Institute's efforts. What I think most people don't understand is that many of the tickets are sold not to rich people who want to dress like a hamburger for the night,
right?
But they're sold to large fashion houses like Gucci or Tom Brown or whatever.
Cartier.
Yeah, and they will buy tickets for a table, and then they'll allocate the tickets to celebrities in exchange for those celebrities wearing their creations for the night. And the reason why they do that, why they're willing to pay for those tickets, is because it's such a high-profile event that they can then show off their ability to make an outfit look like a hamburger.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that tongue-in-cheek. I mean, they make these really beautiful creations, these, as we were talking about, hand embroidery, creative pattern making. But the thing to me about the Met Gala is that it engenders so much hate online.
And why do you think that is?
This past year, obviously, there was controversy over Jeff Bezos not only donating, but also chairing on the board of, chairing this event.
He's donated before. Was this the first time he was chair?
I think it's the first time he was chair.
I see. I gotcha. So they're like, what's this tech guy being? They can understand him maybe donating, but they're probably wondering why.
Well, many people would not have even known that he donated unless he chaired. I'll give you an example. Mark Zuckerberg was at the event. He donated.
Okay.
But he didn't get on. He was not part of the board, and he did not walk the whole thing.
Oh, he just went right in.
I mean, a lot of people donate and then they just go attend the event.
Okay.
So the whole show, if you will, whatever you want to call that, is really, again, about fashion houses showing their, kind of creations.
Right.
But reasonably, there is a lot of backlash on Jeff Bezos, in particular because people are concerned about not only wealth inequality, but the way that very wealthy people can essentially buy their way and shape society. So,
yeah, but hasn't that always been the case? I mean, you think of the
certainly.
Rockefellers, you think of the Gettys, there's so many, all the way back to the Medicis in Florence.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I mean, art has always been, unfortunately, depended on the patronage of extremely wealthy people. And if you look at the Medicis, I mean, hardly a woke family.
Yeah.
Not exactly a woke family.
Right.
But I think there is increasing concern because some people have been critical of Elon Musk and, how he essentially, spent a lot of money on the campaign and affected, Trump's campaign. People are concerned about, that Larry Ellison and his son buying up all of these media companies.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then Jeff Bezos, his role at the Washington Post. I think there's just some reasonable concern, not only about wealth inequality, but the way that the uber wealthy can use that money to shape society with almost no cost to them because, that money grows exponentially. So it's like, for Jeff Bezos to even donate 10 million, it's like nothing. It's like me giving
pocket change,
like 10 cents to somebody on the street. It's like, it's not meaningless to not to the Costume Institute, but it has no real impact on his day-to-day life. So I think that is reasonable. And then, of course, all the critique of how Amazon workers, are treated. I think all of that's reasonable. But I think the critique goes well beyond that. It's not just about Jeff Bezos. Last year, Jack Schlossberg, who's part of the Kennedy family, posted something on social media saying that the Met Gala should be canceled. And then a bunch of people jumped on him about that, partly because the Met Gala that year was celebrating Black dandies and people felt like, oh, this is the year that you want to talk about the Met Gala when it's celebrating Black Dandy, so on and so forth. So he ended up taking the post. The previous year, there was criticism. There is always criticism of the Met Gala. And I think what we were talking about earlier, if you go back to early Met Galas, let's say pre-2006, 2004, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And you look at photos on Getty Images, you'll find that people dressed fairly normally. Like the men wore black tie and women wore some kind of like
elegant cocktail dress,
evening dress, some beautiful dress essentially.
Got it.
And it was relatively private. I mean, obviously there are photographers, so there are Getty Images, but it was a relatively private high society dinner.
Wasn't thrust into society writ large as it is now, all over Twitter, all over the media.
Yes. So the only people that would pay attention would be people who'd be like, oh, wow, look, like Andy Warhol is at the Met Gala. And like there, in almost all of these, there are so many publications where there'd be like a page dedicated to high society gossip.
Yeah.
Like, like Andy Warhol showed up here and, oh, this, Princess Diana wore this dress, and that was essentially focused on fashion people and people who cared about high society. Now it's one, all over social media. And two, I think the other thing that has changed is under Anna Wintour's kind of guidance, it's become slightly different. So
in what way?
Again, the Met Gala has always had themes because it's been connected to exhibits. But now increasingly the dress is like affected by the theme. So Tom Ford, he lamented one year Katy Perry showed up in a literal hamburger costume. And Tom Ford gave a quote in an interview sometime later. He said, the Met Gala used to be just people looking very chic and attending an exhibit. They'd go to an exhibit about the 18th century, but you didn't have to look like the 18th century.
Right.
And so he says now it's just increasingly about costumes. You show up as a hamburger or, you have to arrive in this van because you can't sit down because you're dressed like a chandelier. And that is true. Like that is kind of like the thing now. And I think this is like the duality of the Met Gala is that it gives an opportunity for fashion houses to show off these incredible creations if you look at them in terms of creativity and craftsmanship. But it also gets people so upset because, in my opinion, people are offended by fashion. In a way, they're not offended in other cultural contexts. So anytime I see a critique online about the Met Gala, it's like celebrities, wealth, but there are a lot of events with celebrities and wealth.
Yeah, I think the first thing that comes to mind is when guys get really excited about $1 million sports car.
Yes.
And there is no reason that you would ever drive that on the road.
Yes.
It's a beautiful piece of art. Did they have to make the seats out of baby seals and panda tears? Probably not, but that's why it's so expensive, and you have to appreciate the craftsmanship behind it and the horsepower and blah, 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 blah.
There are car shows. There are antique car shows that happen. They are publicized, but people don't get upset about them in the way they get upset about fashion because, and I have a long theory about this, is that in Western societies, Western societies have long held their nose up at clothes. It's seen as a lowly, vain, something connected to the body, something that's too commercial, too mercantile. And then also, because of that stigma of clothes, and because historically work was relatively divided by gender, women were excluded from serious domains of society like academia, politics, leadership roles. Since they were excluded from that, they were then left to the world of fashion. And because of that legacy, now fashion is coded as a feminine interest. And in my opinion, feminine interests are often disrespected in a way. I would obviously know not to say that having an interest in fashion is itself inherently feminine, but it's feminine coded. And I think feminine coded interests are uniquely disrespected. I think having an interest in fashion is uniquely disrespected in a way that having an interest in architecture or having an interest in automobiles is not disrespected.
Right. Watches, never disrespected.
Watches are disrespected, I think.
Are they?
I think because people, again, view them as a kind of like frivolous show of wealth.
That's true.
Unless it's very obvious that your watch is not expensive.
Yeah, like I get like a Piaget. like relatively boring.
Yeah.
And then you tell someone, oh, this costs $50,000.
Yeah.
Want to hear the rest? Listen to the full episode and many more other exclusive episodes over on our Patreon. Visit patreon.com/Blamo to sign up and join the Blam fam. You also get access to our exclusive members-only Slack group where we chat about this and a ton of other things. So head over to patreon.com/Blamo and we'll see you there.